rumors also before the elections. What do you think about this possibility?
I'm sure that Enzo Fernandez is still secretly thinking about Real Madrid as a possibility for his future. This is not a secret. We know he experienced difficult weeks around March, April, when he did that quote in a podcast saying, I would like to live in Madrid one day. Then Chelsea were very upset, and so out of the squad for 2-3 games. Then back in the squad. The real issue there was not the interview, but was especially the fact that Chelsea and Enzo couldn't agree on a new contract, and they are still not close to reaching any agreement on a new contract. So I'm sure that Real Madrid remains kind of dream move for those around Enzo Fernandez. But at the same time, there is Chelsea. So at the moment from Chelsea, the situation is very silent and very quiet because Chelsea didn't receive any official bid or any official approach from Real Madrid. The focus at Real Madrid in this moment is on different players, but the appreciation for Enzo Fernandez is for sure something guaranteed. We have to understand what's going to happen at Real Madrid in terms of budget, because obviously this big bomba announced by Florentino Perez up front could cost 150 million euros or more. Then they want one more defender after Dumfries and Konate. So we have to see financially Real Madrid how much they will spend in these positions, and also for the midfielders what kind of budget will be left, because I'm sure Chelsea, even if they sell Enzo Fernandez this summer, they will not make life easy to any club approaching them for Enzo.
Staying in Spain and talking about Bernardo Silva.
Welcome back, everyone. So in today's Explainer, we're diving straight into one of the absolute most fascinating stories in world football right now. We are talking about Xabi Alonso's massive, frankly daunting task of rebuilding Chelsea in the 2026 summer transfer window. If you appreciate a structured, no-nonsense look at how a master tactician plans to overhaul a struggling giant, well, you're in the exact right place. We're going to look at the data, the confirmed deals, and the overarching philosophy driving this whole new era at Stamford Bridge. Let's get right into it.
Look, to understand where Chelsea is heading, we really have to acknowledge where they're starting from. 10th. That is where Chelsea finished last season in the Premier League. It was honestly an utterly disastrous campaign resulting in 0 European football. And remember, this isn't just a slight dip in form. This is rock bottom for a club with literally billions in financial backing. It's the exact reason a drastic paradigm shift wasn't just wanted, it was absolutely necessary.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is exactly how we're going to unpack Alonso's rescue mission step by step today. First, Alonso's vision. Then, the search for experience. High-profile exits, confirmed summer signings, and we'll wrap up with the road ahead.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Xabi Alonso's Chelsea vision, and a massive shift to ready-made winners.
You know, under previous management, Chelsea was completely obsessed with buying raw, unproven youth. Well, Alonso is entirely flipping that script. He wants ready-made winners. Basically, he's looking for players with elite-level experience and an ironclad mentality. Why does this matter so much? Because last season, Chelsea's young squad just kind of crumbled under adversity. Alonso wants to replicate his massive success at Bayer Leverkusen. Remember when he brought in veteran Granit Xhaka from Arsenal? That single signing completely transformed Leverkusen's midfield leadership. He is hunting for that exact same impact here.
Which brings us to Section 2, the search for experience. And Alonso is starting right at the back, basically ripping up the club's existing goalkeeper plan.
So, under Liam Rosenier's previous structure, the grand plan was to fast-track the 20-year-old Belgian prospect Mike Penders to be the number 1, ultimately replacing an inconsistent Robert Sanchez. But Alonso stepped in and immediately hit the brakes on that. While Penders is highly rated, Alonso's plan demands a seasoned veteran right now. He views a vocal, incredibly experienced goalkeeper as the absolute foundation of his tactical setup. No compromises.
So who exactly is he looking at? Well, while younger names like Brighton's Bart Verbruggen are really appreciated by the data team, Alonso's eyes are firmly fixed on 2 top targets, AC Milan's Mike Maignan and Everton's Jordan Pickford. Maignan is definitely the standout option internally, but let's be real, prying him out of Milan, or getting the 32-year-old Pickford away from Everton, who basically view him as absolutely essential, is going to be incredibly difficult.
You know, this shift hasn't happened without some major internal friction. Chelsea legend Petr Cech has steadfastly defended the young Penders, insisting he's already a world-class player who can handle the pressure. The club as a whole still genuinely believes Penders is the future. They're even comparing his trajectory to Thibaut Courtois. But for Alonso, the future just isn't fast enough. He needs to win right now.
Now, what's really interesting here is that to make room for these incoming veterans, Chelsea absolutely must clear the path. That leads us to Section 3, high-profile Stamford Bridge exits.
It really begs the question, doesn't it? How do you actually fix a broken squad? I mean, you can't just keep adding players to a totally bloated roster. You need a cultural reset. You have to trigger a sort of domino effect, moving out unsettled, frustrated stars to balance the books and clear the path for the specific profiles the new manager actually wants to work with.
And the biggest domino of all carries an absolutely massive price tag, £120 million, or roughly over $160 million. That's Chelsea's eye-watering valuation of Enzo Fernandez. After a really turbulent season, the 25-year-old Argentine reportedly wants out, with heavyweights like Real Madrid and Manchester City circling. Offloading him would be a huge statement, for sure, and honestly, it would provide a massive war chest for Alonso's rebuild.
But hey, Enzo isn't the only one pushing for the exit door. Left-back Marc Cucurella has handed in a transfer request, hoping for a €40 to €50 million move back to Spain. Cucurella points directly to the club's instability and the sacking of Enzo Maresca as his breaking point. It perfectly captures the human emotion and just the sheer frustration that had built up in the dressing room way before Alonso even arrived.
Beyond the superstars, though, the sheer scale of this expected clear-out is staggering. Just listen to this list. Goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen has requested to leave after just one error-prone season. Defenders like Axel Disasi, Tosin Adarabioyo, and the injury-prone Benoit Badiashile, all on the chopping block. Even recent signings like the kind of cumbersome striker Liam Delap, who managed just 3 goals in 47 appearances, are being cut simply because they don't fit the new vision.
So out with the old and in with the new. Section 4, confirmed summer signings. Let's see how they're actually executing this blueprint.
And this brilliantly illustrates what's going on. Looking at these confirmed deals, you might see these ages, 19, 23, 18, 17, and think, wait a second, didn't Alonso want veterans? It's a totally fair point. These transfers, like the £43 million deal for winger Giovanni Quenda and the £22 million move for striker Emmanuel Emega, were actually pre-arranged by the Blue Co ownership network long before Alonso took charge. Emega, for instance, arrives from Chelsea's sister club, Strasbourg. So Alonso inherits these young talents, but his focus going forward is absolutely going to be balancing them with real experience.
Another pre-arranged deal bringing major excitement is Valentin Barco. He's also transitioning over from Strasbourg. Originally a left-back, he's proven to be incredibly effective in central midfield too. Now, Alonso is famous for his dynamic wing-back systems, and Barco's specific versatility makes him an absolutely ideal tactical fit for the new manager's left flank. He actually just said a very emotional goodbye to the French supporters and is completely ready to hit the ground running in the Premier League.
And tying this all back to those exits, if Cucurella does leave, who replaces him? Well, Chelsea's data analytics team is heavily targeting Juventus's Andrea Cambiaso. The data suggests Cambiaso is a massive net positive upgrade over Cucurella, who has been experiencing a pretty dramatic slump. Cambiaso is a year younger, sure, but he offers vastly superior crossing and dribbling metrics, making him a custom fit for Alonso's high-energy attacking wingback demands. Okay, let's move to our final section and see how this all builds together on the actual pitch. Section 5, the road ahead. The laboratory for Alonso's totally revamped Chelsea is going to be the 2026 preseason tour across Australasia and Asia. Starting in late July in Sydney against the Wanderers and London rivals Tottenham, they'll then face some truly crucial heavyweight tests in Asia against Juventus in Hong Kong and AC Milan in Jakarta. This is where we're finally going to see if this tricky blend of pre-arranged youth and Alonso's demanded veterans can actually gel.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Can Xabi Alonso's blueprint actually transform Chelsea's billion-pound potential into a winning reality? I mean, he absolutely has the pedigree, and it seems he finally has the power to shape the squad his way. But, as we all know, the Premier League is entirely unforgiving. Keep a very close eye on this transfer window, because the moves made right now will literally define Chelsea's next decade. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay focused, and I will see you in the next one.